Today, we are meeting the newest member of the Street Food Union. They were the first ever Lebanese street food trader in the UK. Owner and founder Tariq is incredibly proud of his brand. In his words, no fusion rubbish, no artisan crap, and no false pretenses. Without further ado, please welcome the OGs of Lebanese street food, Bey Roots. Tariq, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, mate.
What is Bey Roots in your own words?
So we're the first authentic Lebanese street food business in the UK. We serve up food as it should be. No false pretenses, no sort of artisan rubbish, authentic flavours and like decent portions and the kind of food people want to be eating. So my dad had this pipe dream. He was like semi-retired and he had this idea of having a classic Citroen food truck that he could just baz around London in. He had this concept in his head that there were no good falafel places in London, which was, I mean, it was rubbish, but like, because there are very good ones. We have good family recipes that he wanted to share with people, basically. Nice. When he passed away in 2015, I had a bit of money saved up and I was kind of falling out of love with my job that I was doing at the time. So I just thought this could be the perfect opportunity for me to try and crack on with it. So I took the plunge, bought a truck, and the rest is history, I guess.
Wow, nice. Yeah, that's an amazing story. That's really inspirational.
Thank you very much, man.
So after you bought that Citroen H-van, what happened next?
Plenty of breakdowns, obviously. Being a classic vehicle, we used it pretty much day in, day out for about 2 years straight, doing various different spots. South Bank, where we're at today, it was our first ever central London spot that we did. And we kind of just grew from there. We got another food truck after that, Mercedes fire truck. Again, another vintage vehicle, which has had plenty of breakdowns too. But you know, it's all part of the character and the fun, right? So, and then now we have our horse truck.
So you've been in business 8 years now, very successful street food business. Is there anything, if you could go back to day one, what you would tell yourself again?
I'd probably tell myself to have more of a plan. Don't go into it like willy-nilly. Don't just sort of muddle through and hope for the best because it just makes it more stressful. You know, I've learned along the way, but I've learned the hard way, like through, you know, making mistakes. I was for the longest time cooking to order because I'm not a classically trained chef. So I was thinking, oh, if someone comes and orders, I'll stick a skewer on it. It's like, no, you have to have stuff almost ready to go. We've had help along the way from various members of staff who some who are still with us, some who have moved on, but I've learned from every single person I've worked with. The biggest help I've actually had has been fellow food traders.
Moving on to your menu, we spoke previously,
Yeah.
You make everything completely and utterly from scratch.
Yeah, everything from our sauces, dressings, marinades, hummus, baba ganoush, all that kind of stuff we do from scratch. We're about to start bringing our sauces out to market as well. We're going through some testing of those.
What would you say you've loved about the street food industry?
The freedom to realise that if a place is crap, you don't have to go back there. Yeah. You are the master of your own destiny. Yeah. If you want to do well, put yourself out there. Authenticity is key, I think. That's why one of our biggest, I guess, mantras is no artisan crap. I think people like to make their food seem like the next best thing, but at the end of the day, like, it is street food. Like, so sometimes they want rough and ready.
I hope in this interview we get across just how authentic you are. Yeah. You yourself are very authentic, your brand is, and you don't differ from that.
It's very important for me. I'm born and raised in the UK, but spent my entire childhood going back to Lebanon, summer holidays. Pretty much every holiday we've had, we'll be back in Lebanon, visiting family. First thing majority of people who know where Lebanon is and what Lebanon is think of is the food. And then obviously second to that is probably like war, unfortunately. I want to try and spread the positivity of the country. So it's very important that what I'm serving here is authentic so people get an impression of how good it is. So we do a lot of work with the Lebanese Red Cross. We also do a lot of work with a few individuals in Lebanon who have kind of feet on the ground when it comes to actually reaching people individually and being able to physically hand cash to people in their hand that need it. If you have the ability to help, then it's worth helping.
So after 8 years in the business, obviously various highs, various lows, what's something nobody would know about the street food industry?
I mean, there's a lot of bad things. You see your typical food trader who would be serving like the next best, like, I don't know, burger or hot dog, and you know for a fact that they're just getting things from a wholesale place. I think there's a lot of wool being pulled over a lot of people's eyes when it comes to this kind of food that's offered. I think also a lot of people don't know just how much work goes into it. A lot of people during COVID were like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to quit my job in the city and I'm going to start my own food business. It's like, cool bro, like, are you prepared to work 17-hour days just making food?
Yeah.
Like, it is brutal. Probably had more conversations with people on a daily basis than people have in their lives, you know?
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
With all that being said, what would you like to change within the industry?
I'd like people to care more, or care as much as I know that myself and a lot of my other fellow food traders do. Also, landowners, give us more spaces to pull up on a truck.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone wants something different.
That obviously ties in perfectly with what we're trying to achieve at the Street Food Union. We want to create a group of just elite traders, a handful of people that are passionate about the food, authentic, and just got the right values around street food. So why are Bey Roots joining the Street Food Union?
Because it's being run by a guy who's owned a street food business before and has worked in a street food business before. You know, I think you need first-hand experience to actually understand what traders go through on a daily basis. It allows you to have sympathy for guys like us who might be having a bad week, even a bad month. Also, you understand how extortionate some agencies can be when it comes to commission rates and that kind of thing. So you know what's fair. As diluted as the market is now, I think it'd be really key to work in a kind of, I guess, a collective where we can bounce ideas off each other as well.
What I'm concerned of and what I don't understand is why at festivals now, we've got these middle corporations in the middle taking a huge chunk of the money. And what we're ending up with is either families or attendees not being able to afford to eat an event. And the mad thing is that the traders aren't even making money from it.
Everyone has to prove themselves to a certain extent, but it shouldn't be to the point where you're actually like beginning to degrade your brand to do so.
Thanks very much, Tariq.
No,
Thanks for your time.
Thank you for coming down, man.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's been amazing having you explain your brand, find out about you, true, authentic Lebanese cuisine.
Awesome,
and we're delighted to have you on board as a Street Food Union member. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Sweet.
Yeah, brilliant. Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
That was. Let's go again. Sorry. Good to find out about your roots.
Yeah.
What was my first line?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Delicious. That's so good.